Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another Create a Sim video. I actually just shared one of these recently, so I'm very excited to be sharing another one because I always talk about how I want to do more Create a Sims and then I never do them. But today I am doing one that is inspired by the different ways to die in The Sims. There are definitely more than 7, but I liked the play on 7 deadly sins. But there's 7 deadly Sims. So I thought that was pretty fun. And yeah, hopefully you guys will like them. This first Sim that I am creating, her name is Mandy Clarke, and she is inspired by the death of Embarrassment. So your Sims can get like mortified and they can actually die of the emotion of feeling embarrassed, which is pretty silly in my opinion. But I think she ends up being like such an adorable Sim. I go for this very yellow color scheme. I end up giving her this yellow hair that I think is beautiful. Like this hair, I don't always like this color, but I actually think every once in a while this color suits Sims really nicely, and she's definitely one of them. I end up giving her this yellow tank top with this sweater, and yeah, she's just super cute. I went with the yellow color scheme because when your Sims become embarrassed, all of their moodlets turn yellow, and that's basically the color for it. And then as far as her personality goes, she wants to be a cook. She is a loner, unflirty. I chose unflirty and a loner because I felt like that type of Sim would get embarrassed a little bit more easily. And then I chose geek just because I thought it was cute and I felt like it kind of suited her look a little bit. And yeah, I love her. She's one of my favorites that I created. And then here I'm creating the Sim that's inspired by death by electrocution. I was also kind of trying to think of lightning because I feel like when a Sim in game is electrocuted, the sparks and the animation kind of reminds me of lightning, and I don't think Sims can die by lightning after seasons. Let me know if that's true. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, I was inspired by both, and so I wanted to make her hair silver, and I go with this really long, pretty hair with the bangs. She's like a really pretty Sim. I think she's gorgeous anyways. And I end up giving her this really pretty outfit. It's very simple. I went with a black and silver color scheme, but I think it suits the whole like electricity look I was going for. And the top that I end up giving her is a striped little crop top tank top. And then I give her a high-waisted black skirt. I was trying to give her a dress, but I couldn't find one that I really thought suit the look that I was going for. And I also give her really tall boots. And that's not something that I give to my Sims very often, but I thought they suited her nicely. And anytime that I use them, I feel like they make the Sims look taller than they actually are. And unfortunately, we can't actually adjust the height of the Sims. I would love to see that. I think that would be really cool to actually create tall and short Sims, especially for teenagers because they basically look like young adults. But either way, I feel like adding tall boots makes them look a little bit taller. But her name ends up being Halverson, and her outfit has basically came together. I just adjust a few things and give her some accessories. And yeah, I made her a city native, or she wants to be a city native. That's her aspiration. She is gloomy. She is also a genius and ambitious. I kind of struggled with picking out the aspiration and the traits for this one, but I think they all kind of work. I chose the gloomy trait because of the rain cloud. The rain reminded me of thunder and lightning, and then that reminded me of electricity, so I thought that worked. And then she just kind of suited being ambitious and a genius, I thought. And then we are moving on into the third Sim. So the third Sim that I create ends up being like so adorable. I wanted to make her look really cute. So she is inspired by dying of hysteria. So another emotion related death. Your Sims can actually become like, they can laugh too much. They can laugh themselves to death, which is also a really funny way to die and also a bit ridiculous. But I went with the purple color scheme because their moodlets become purple when they're going to die of hysteria. And I end up giving her like this most adorable haircut. I recently downloaded this hair and it's super cute. It's this one with still chopped bangs. And I go with this t-shirt that has a piñata on the front of it and then a purple skirt. She's adorable, like so adorable. I love her so much. So yeah, I hope you guys will like her. If you are interested in any of the custom content, by the way, I have reblogged all of it on my Tumblr page. I'm pre-recording at the moment, so when I get home, I will try to go through and update a custom content list for this video and the one that I shared before this one. So If you guys can't find anything, just check back in a little bit later, maybe in like a week, and hopefully I'll have everything put together. I will make a post about it in my community tab so you guys can find it really easily and you don't have to keep checking the video over and over again. But here is the t-shirt that I'm going to use on her. Isn't it so cute? She looks so innocent and playful, and I thought that was perfect for a sim that would be inspired by dying of hysteria. And I of course give her the joke star aspiration. She is a goofball, childish, and good. Like, I just wanted her to be completely silly and innocent, and her name is Kaitlyn Farrell. And Farrell wasn't the original name I didn't plan out any of their names, but it was given to me by random, and I thought that was pretty good since there is that comedic actor who has the last name Farrell, Will Farrell, and so that worked pretty well in my opinion. And then here I'm moving on to the next sim. So she is inspired by Death by Cowplant. So your sims can collect cowplant berries, plant them in the ground, and then outgrows this plant with a cow head on the top. It's hilarious. One of my favorite things in game, and honestly when I play the game personally, I always have a cow plant. I think they're so cool. But yeah, so your sims can actually die because the cow plant gets hungry, and I think they can go and eat the cake that comes out of the cow plant's mouth. It's been a while since I played with them, so I forget exactly how it works, and I think if they do it twice in a row, then the cow plant will actually eat them because they're hungry and they're not feeding them, something like that. But I wanted her to look more like a cowgirl, and so I ended up giving her cowgirl boots, some braids, and I give her this cute little tank top that I thought was in a nice little design and pattern. And I go with a black and white color scheme because the cow plant, it's black and white, so I felt like that worked perfectly. And her name ends up being Riley Moody, which I thought was adorable. Her outfit looked so simple that I was trying to add different like jackets and accessories, but I think for a country inspired sim or a cow inspired sim, she looks pretty adorable. And yeah, I end up giving her the freelance botanist aspiration because the cow plant, it's a plant. Originally, I did give her the animal lovers aspiration, but I end up giving that to another sim later on, so I switch it up. And then I also give her the family oriented aspiration, and she's a glutton and she loves the outdoors. And I gave her the glutton trait because I felt like with the cow plant sticking the cake out of their mouth and they're always hungry, maybe the cow plant is a bit of a glutton too. I mean, I think they just get hungry, but either way, that's what I decided to go with. And then now I'm moving on to the sim that's inspired by Death by Fire. So as I'm sure everybody knows, your sims can burn to death and they always set fires, like in their kitchen. Like, so many times when I'm playtesting my builds, my sims like try to burn down my builds. It's so frustrating. And I also thought this could probably work for a sim that would be inspired by dying of rage, because your sims can actually get so angry that they die, which is also pretty silly. But I was thinking more along the lines of fire, and this hair, I've used it before in a creative sim, but it's beautiful. I forget exactly the creator's name right now, but like I said, everything's on my Tumblr page. I reblogged it all, but the way it's cut and layered kind of reminds me of fire. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I ended up going with this red skirt that I thought was really pretty, some black heels, and then I kind of struggled with a top for her. I try on a few different ones, and this one I thought was really pretty because it has that ombre effect. It kind of reminded me of maybe smoke in a fire, but I ended up going with this one. I thought it just suited her a lot better. And yeah, her name is Jordan Michaels. She wants to be fabulously wealthy. She is hot-headed, romantic, and she is self-assured. And I chose all of those because they're red, and I felt like it suited her pretty well with like her style and everything. So now I'm moving on into the sim that's inspired by Death by Water, and I was also thinking maybe she could be inspired by Death by Pufferfish because the top that I end up giving her has fish on it, but I chose the fish because it reminded me of water, and she is a beautiful sim. Again, a new hair that I downloaded that I am really in love with. I think it's a very pretty hair, and I end up giving her a blue skirt and I think blue shoes maybe, but yeah, I went with a very blue color scheme. But this is the shirt that I was talking about. It's a really pretty top and it comes in a lot of really nice patterns, but I especially liked this one with the fish on it. And I end up giving her this necklace that has a like little drop pendant on it, and I kind of thought maybe it could look like a drop of water. maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think it looks pretty good. But her name ends up being Rachael Lange. She wants to be a mixologist, which I thought worked pretty well because liquid and water and that kind of stuff. She is also a child of the ocean, gloomy again because of the rain. And then I gave her the perfectionist trait because that's also blue. So yeah, I thought that just came together so nicely. She's honestly, again, one of the prettiest Sims I've ever created. She's so, so pretty. And then this last Sim that I'm creating is inspired by Death by Rodent. So your Sims can actually get rodent fever from the Sims 4 My First Pet stuff. If they buy one of the pets and they get bit by them and they don't treat it, then they can die. And so I wanted her to look very childish because it's My First Pet stuff. It's kind of kid related. The items are very centered around children's rooms. And so I ended up giving her these pants with like these hearts drawn on it, and I give her this short hair that's pinned up, and she ends up having a very sweet, cute little face, and I really like her. I think she ends up being a really fun and adorable looking Sim. And her name ends up being Madison Scott, and I gave her the Animal Lover's aspiration. Like I said, I go and change the Cowplant Sim to have the Botanist aspiration, and she is childish, clumsy, and outgoing. And I chose outgoing because the rodents will actually go on little adventures, so I feel like they're kind of adventurous and outgoing themselves. And I chose clumsy because maybe you're clumsy to get bitten. I have no idea. Either way, these are the 7 different Sims that I created inspired by different ways to die in The Sims 4. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Like I said, everything is on my Tumblr. I will be creating a CC list as soon as I can. But thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!